Generation X. That's my generation. I've had some personal conversations with some friends of mine through the years. Several times we had this conversation, and I always make the statement that our generation, the generation that we grew up with, which was Generation X, we dropped the ball when it comes to passing the baton in the urban communities. Why am I saying that? Through the early 80s and the 90s, that's most Generation X, that is when they were growing up. That's when I was growing up. And at that time, I can remember black-owned businesses in the urban community. In my neighborhood, I remember black-owned businesses, black restaurants, black doctors, black cleaners, black restaurants. It was a community, not a neighborhood. It was a community. So when those business owners passed away while getting ready to retire, they couldn't pass those businesses along to their kids, which was us, because a lot of us got into selling drugs, gang banging, or using drugs. So we weren't capable of running a business or keeping a legacy going or building generational wealth with our family. So what did they have to do? They either had to sell it or they just went out of business. And what happened to us? We got caught up in the 80s. We got caught up in the Scarface thing. Man, the movie Scarface had a terrible effect on the urban community. Me personally, I think that movie turned out urban communities all over the country, because what it did was it glorified becoming a drug kingpin, and everybody tried to follow suit with that. Then you had it coming into the music, where a lot of the rappers were glorifying that lifestyle, and we got clung into it. So now, Generation X, we started having kids, which is the next generation. We started having them as our kids. What happened then? Our kids didn't have any fathers around, because we were either on drugs, we were either in jail, or we were either dead. Because what we went through as kids, as younger adults, as far as gang banging and selling drugs and using drugs, it destroyed our lives. So they were growing up with no fathers. Now, kids growing up with no fathers, what's going to happen? They don't have that guidance coming from a man. Okay, a woman can do her part, but a man needs to be in the house. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not going to drag this video long on anymore, because I think I made my point. You know, some of you guys are going to agree. Some of you guys are not going to agree. And there's a lot of different components to what I'm talking about. I just tried to break this down and condense it as much as I can. But me personally, I think Generation X dropped the ball when it came to getting the baton and passing it along to the millennials. And the millennials, now, by them growing up, they growing up with no fathers or nothing. Now they're having this, what is it, Gen X or whatever the new generation is. Those are their kids. These kids are buck wild and lost. The reason I'm talking about this is because a lot of us don't realize that we tore something apart. And when you learn that you tore something apart, then you'll understand that you can fix it and build it back up. But if you don't know you broke something down and tore it apart, you're not going to go back and fix nothing. That's just my opinion. You got a different opinion? Leave a comment or leave some ideas. Have a good one.